What's up, YouTube, and welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna get into it, man. You sitting down with that Army recruiter, you heard a word thrown out at you, MEPS. We're gonna talk about all that today, so stay tuned, baby, because it's coming up. All right, first things first, if we're gonna be talking about MEPS, we're gonna have to understand what MEPS is in the first place. What goes on at MEPS? What is the experience gonna be like at MEPS? MEPS this, MEPS that. All right, so we're gonna get into all of this MEPS talk, okay? To kind of give you an understanding of what it is, why you need to go in the first place, and what's the purpose of it overall. So MEPS is a military entrance processing station, all right? It sounds confused, like, oh my gosh, like what it is, but really and truly, it's self-explanatory, okay? Military entrance processing station. Anybody who wants entrance in the military, it's a processing station for you to do so, all right? That was so poetic, man. They should really pay me more, okay? Uncle Sam, consider it, all right? So, military entrance processing station. Now that we know what it is, what is it? So MEPS is actually a place that you go to after sitting down with that recruiter. So you and this recruiter have been talking for X amount of time, and now they're throwing out there that they need to send you to MEPS to do something, to proceed with the processing. And maybe that makes you a little bit nervous. Maybe you have no idea what this recruiter is talking about. All it is a place that you go to. So for me, after I sat down with that recruiter, and we kind of got to the point where, look, I want to join the United States Army. And after the warm and fuzzy came out, and that's what I told him, I needed to go to MEPS, okay? Everybody who joins, you're going to have to go to MEPS at some point in time. So what are some things that MEPS is responsible for doing? For one, they're processing your paperwork, right? So they're basically viewing you and your online packet, understanding who you are, and they have access to see your background. They got access to see your medical questionnaire. They really have access to see all these things, right? They're like the final check mark before it's official that you're a member of the United States, whatever, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. That's like the final step. They're like the final phase that you go through. Once MEPS approves off of you joining the military, you're in. If MEPS disapproves, you're out, okay? So MEPS is like that final step, man. You ran first base. You came into the office to talk to the military recruiter. You ran to second base. They went over jobs and they went over this, and you took the ASVAB or the PICAT or whatever, and then you're running to third base and they're getting, everything ready. You think you're about to lock in this job, and you need to do like your physical, and MEPS is right there, and you think you're about to go to home next. But if you don't make it through MEPS, you're not gonna make it to that home base, all right? So that's what MEPS is. That's the purpose of MEPS. They're there to kind of see who really they want to push forward into the military and who is not ready. So what are some things that can disqualify you at MEPS? Fantastic question. Once again, I'm so happy that you asked, right? So at MEPS, some things that can disqualify you: for one, medical, okay? If you're not feeling, if they're warm and fuzzy of you, is that medically, you're not up to par, health-wise, you're not up to par. Let's say they find out that you're currently on medications, like it slipped the recruiter and MEPS catches that you're currently taking medication because you have severe headaches, right? That's something right then and there that will temporarily disqualify you because you're currently on medication. You're having these headaches, In their eyes, they're not about to put you, if you're already having headaches, they're not about to put you in a position where you're at basic training and the stress is through the roof and it's fast-paced tempo. They're not going to do that to you, because you're currently already having headaches. So something that can really hurt your process is if they discover either something that wasn't listed in the your talk with the recruiter, Or if maybe at the point in time you're just like, wow, my stomach really hurts and I feel like I'm having cramps and I feel like I'm about to pass out, you know, whether it's nerves alone or whatever, like saying things like that will definitely hurt your process. All you need to understand is that MEPS is like the final people, phase, entity, station that will either approve or disapprove of you joining the military in the first place, okay? Not your recruiter. Your recruiter could tell you, man, I could see that you have what it takes to join all day long. He could tell you that all day long, but it's not up to him or her, okay? It's really not. So MEPS is the stamping approval authority saying, boom, this person is eligible. We want this person, you know, and they just enlisted in the United States military. That is MEPS. Y'all ever been recording and then you're doing great and you're in your groove and then it tells you storage memory full? So annoying, man. And then you gotta try to figure back out like where you were. But it's all right, because we was talking about MEPS and we know exactly where we left off, right? So my experience at MEPS, it was, I was kind of nervous, to be honest with you. Like I walked into the MEPS station and I thought it would have been kind of relaxed, but no, there was like these really old people who were like extremely grumpy, like really, really, really grumpy. Not only grumpy, but I'll even take it a step further to call them rude, okay? Because them little suckers were actually pretty rude, right? Kind of like, I don't know if they like wanted to start the morning off to kind of, you know, light the fire under everybody, wake them up in the morning. But it was more so like, hey, you know, like, this is exactly what, stand up there and then don't move when I tell you, let's go. You know, like it was like, whoa, man, your energy is up here and it's about 6 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? So that was my experience when it came to like walking into the MEP station. Everybody was lined up. Get your packets out and open your bags and pull this out. Close your bags. All right, let's go. So everybody started following, you know. I realized then that it wasn't just Army people there at MEPS. This was actually Army. Some people were there to join the Air Force. Some people were there to join the Marines and the Navy. I don't know if there was any Coast Guard people. You know, you guys notice that I always leave like Coast Guard out of there. Maybe there was Coast Guard people there too, right? But it was very fast-paced tempo. So MEPS really don't play no games, okay? MEPS is about their business. They're there to tell you whether or not you're about to join whatever branch that you're trying to join. So it's very nerve-wracking, you know. You have to kind of pay attention to detail because they might tell you, listen, when you're done with station 1, go to station 2. When you're done with station 2, go to station 4. When you're done with station 4, circle back to station 3. And then station 3, go to station 5. Like, you have to be very in tune with what they're saying. And I remember going to I had like this packet in my hand and I went to station 1 and then I went to station 2 and then I went to do my physical. And then, you know, for a 17, 18-year-old kid, it was kind of like, oh, shoot, you know. I went into this waiting room and then I came back out of the waiting room and I was sitting with this guidance counselor. It was a lot. It was a lot to process, okay? So things that you go to MEPS for, you go to MEPS to do the ASVAB, okay? MEPS is a very, what's the word here? MEPS is a very formal setting, okay? So things like the ASVAB, they definitely do the ASVAB there at MEPS. It's you sitting down in this room. You're gonna have other people in the room as well. And it's very, you know, you can't have your phone, no calculator. You sit there. It's kind of like very much so high school setting, you know, where teacher is there and, you know, make sure that there's no cheating on the test and nobody, you know, says a word. And it's very formal, extremely formal, right? So you go to MEPS to do the ASVAB. You also go to MEPS to do your physical. They want to make sure that you're healthy from your head to your toe. They want to make sure that you're healthy. If for some reason that you do have, you know, some sort of medical issues, MEPS is there to kind of hash that out to see, you know, where's these medical documents? You said that you went to the doctor when you was 11 years old. Where's these medical documents? You know, they're going to look over your medical documents. They're going to look over things that might be disqualifying, and they're going to let you know that on the spot, okay? You're also going to do little things like, you know, duck walk to make sure that you're, maybe mobile or agile. You're gonna do things like kneeling down on the floor, and I'll make a separate video on all this just to kind of give you guys a better understanding of what to expect when you go to MEPS. But these are definitely things that I guess I'm just throwing out there, so that way you kind of understanding of what they do in the first place, right? They might see if you're flat-footed. They might see if you have an arch in your foot, things like that. Like, it's really a full examination. See if you're colorblind, see if you're not colorblind. When I went to MEPS and I changed my job, the guy told me, hey man, you're colorblind. Now, that doesn't sound like a question to me. Like, what the heck are you talking about? You know, I think I can see color just fine. You know, are you asking me if I'm colorblind? Are you telling me if I'm no, like, it says here that you're colorblind. So I'm like, no, I'm not. Stupid me, right? This is why people say I play too much, right? Because I actually was playing with this guy, like, oh yeah, I thought he was joking. Oh yeah, man, yeah, it's kind of hard for me to see color or whatever, right? So, but he didn't laugh, and that's when I kind of realized, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be joking about this because I'm at MEPS, They about to disqualify me right now, tell me hit the road jack and don't come back. So I'm like, oh, okay. So he's like, what color is this? And now he's pointing to like objects around the room, right? So I'm telling him red, blue, green, black, white, yellow, duh, So he's like, oh, I don't know. It may have been just a little mix up. And then, I guess he was just trying to see if I was lying to him. But I know my colors, man. I'm not colorblind. I mean, what is this right here that I'm about to point out? What is that? That's like a orangish kind of color, right? Just kidding, people. I'm not colorblind, okay? I'm not colorblind at all. But at MEPS, that's nothing to joke with, okay? MEPS, don't make any jokes with MEPS when it comes to your health, because they're gonna write down every single thing that they see in here, and that might be it for your entire processing. All that work that you spent talking to that recruiter, all that work that you spent getting the documents that recruiter was asking of you to get, and you was on your ish, man. You was doing your thing, all for MEPS to disqualify you. So you don't want to make any jokes when it comes to your health. If you are feeling some type of way, of course, you want to be comfortable enough to tell them. But at the same time, understand that they don't play no games, okay? They're there for a reason, and they're there to do their job. So MEPS it can be very much so uncomfortable. I haven't really heard anybody say that, oh, they were so nice and they were so sweet. No, I haven't heard anybody say that at all. They're like, and maybe I don't want to say that it was just the MEPS that I went to. I think it's just MEPS in general. They're very formal. They're very to the point, cut to the chase. Let's do this, because they have a large mass of people trying to join all different types of branches. So they have to be organized, and they have to be kind of, they don't have to be rude, okay? But I guess they have to be stern, so that way they can push as much people through as possible. So MEPS was definitely nerve-wracking, but it was good. My MEPS experience was really smooth. I was able to do all the little tests that they told me to do. They checked my vision, they checked my hearing. A couple tips that I would leave with you guys is make sure that you clean your ears, okay? If you're not cleaning your ears already, make sure that you clean your ears, okay? When you go to MEPS, sometimes you might sleep in a hotel room. So you might sleep there overnight. Bring a hygiene bag, bring a toothbrush, okay? The basics, all right? Bring a change of clothes. Make sure that you dress professionally. So that way, when you get there, it's not you fiddling for stuff, or you're talking to people with morning breath. Nobody want to smell that. Nobody want to smell that at all. So just make sure that you keep these things in mind, all right? For those of you who have MEPS in your near future, keep these things in mind, because it'll really help you. Your goal is from start to finish. Make it from start to finish seamlessly, okay? It should be such a smooth process. You're hoping for such a smooth process. If they catch anything, find anything, sense anything, your process will get a lot shakier from there. And it's going to be really hard for that recruiter to continue to help you, because that recruiter might be in a different city, So just keep these things in mind. You want your MEPS process to be very, very smooth. That's why being honest with that recruiter prior to will help that process a lot. That's basically what MEPS is there for. That is what MEPS is there to do. They're like that final check mark that you need. You've checked so many boxes up until that point, but the last box for you to check before you can say that you're gonna be a future soldier in the United States military, MEPS, okay? If you found this video informative, go ahead and hit that like button. Also, don't be shy to hit that subscribe button, people. You know you came to the video. If you hear me talk right now and you at the end of the video, there should be no reason why you have not hit that subscribe button, right? There should be no reason. That subscribe button should be gray right now, and the little bell icon next to it should be checked off, or it should be gray too, or however it works, right? Always remember that success is made by actions, baby. So get up, go grind. I'll see you next time.